Some they call it functional alcoholism, but if you know anything about Ben, he's got vision with precision, microphones and a tinkle of derision. You're about to hear what beer can be. It's time for Barley and me.
Wow, that's really crazy. I'm sorry, I'm going to drink this one more time because... Do you know what this tastes like to me? In the strangest way, this tastes like my childhood. This tastes like when you would eat a fruit cup of peaches and the end of the cup when you would drink it.
Oh, the liquid at
like
the bottom,
the
the
peach
nectar.
flavor. And it's not like right away, you know, like you drink it and it's just like a nice sour beer flavor. And then it was like peaches. Oh, it's so good.
We picked the worst day of the year to do it this year. It was like 107 out, and we're standing over a Weber grill cutting peaches and grilling them.
Oh my God.
But I like how it comes out.
It's worth it.
And
the peach flavor is so strong. It's it's delicious. That's my favorite sour I've ever had, actually.
sweet.
Want to try this one?
Yeah.
This is the watermelon. This is how we're going to start the episode. We're screw the way that I always start them. Because this one, watermelon's tricky.
Whoa, that tastes like watermelon. What the fuck? You guys are great.
So we ran real fruit, and turns
This is
out
crazy.
Are you skinning those peaches at all, or are you leaving the pith on there?
we leave the skins on. We just cut them in half, pull the pit, and usually if we're not grilling stuff, we throw it in the freezer. So try to pop the cells and make more flavor come out. But this one, we're making like cobbler essentially.
Yeah.
And then we keep it in the tank warm, so they kind of keep cooking in the tank for a day, and then we send beer on top once they're cool, and it mushes everything up, and all the flavors kind of meld, and you get this kind of smoky. The tank smells amazing.
This beer tastes like summer. This is the perfect summer beer for
Grilled
me.
peach.
And I think even if you didn't like sours, you would like this, because a lot of people don't like sours. And I have been a recent sour convert. I went to Portland for the first time last year.
Did you hit Cascade?
I don't remember. I had a lot of sours while I was there. It was the first time I'd been to. I go to Denver a lot. I go to a lot of brewery cities. And Denver, there's a lot of great breweries, but I hadn't really seen sours. And Portland, everywhere has sours. And somebody was like, I love them. So we tried them, and I fell in love. Number one of them got me hammered. Just one, you know? And then like the second part of it is they're so good. I love the tartness. I love everything about a sour. But this, the peachiness, the fruitiness, this is like making me want to go camping.
We're really spoiled, so everything grows good here. So we have friends with farms around that we trade beer for fruit. My parents have a bunch of citrus trees, so we do a lot of citrus stuff in the winter. And like, it makes it easy when you got good fruit.
When you have the good ingredients, yeah.
And it's a pain in the butt. Like, using real fruit is a pain in the butt, but it just tastes
because a lot
better.
of other breweries probably use extract or
puree.
Yeah.
Puree, yeah.
That they can just buy from a restaurant supply depot instead of.
We just did another watermelon, not that one, but a different one on this week, and we're trying to get the watermelon out of the tank, and it's under pressure, so it's shooting these like chunks of like watermelon. It looked like
Just looks like human flesh.
it looked like roadkill. Like it was
Giving
rough.
Fargo.
It's like, oh man, Tony, like we should have put up a backstop. Like this. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of weird messes you have to clean up with experimenting with beer.
Yeah, fruit's tricky, but I don't know. And we get to eat the fruit too, so like,
See,
while
this-
you're,
You have a great life.
it could be worse. It
Yeah.
definitely could
Great
be
life.
worse.
The only way this would be in my dream life if also this was a dispensary and I could smoke all the weed I wanted.
I mean, you just can't buy it. Turns out most breweries are pretty laid back on that side of things.
You know, when I kind of have realized, even truthfully, you know, not that I'm praising them, but even cops, I have noticed, are like, we don't care. Like, and in Vegas, even before it was legalized, cops really didn't give a fuck, because rarely was the stoner doing something disruptive.
Yeah.
Like, the stoners are standing on the corner smoking a joint. Like, talking about shit that we can't control,
Yeah.
like the government.
Yeah. It's like, it's going to be real weird in that casino in a minute. That's,
I don't think we should have bought tickets to see Chris Angel, but this was your choice.
I'm trying to mellow out and level up at the same time, you know? It's going to get crazy in there.
One time when I brought Pop, I was doing a comedy festival in Las Vegas. There's this comedy festival called Crapshoot, and one of the headliners was Dave Attell. And so I'm like, if I get to see Dave Attell for free, I'm going. So I cleared my night. I got pop brownies. My friend and I are gambling. It was on Fremont Street where the festival was, and we're gambling, and I go to the bathroom and I pull out the pop brownies. I'm like, look what I brought, and I like set them on the machine, and I'm like, I'll be right back, I'm gonna go pee, and then we can have a little bit of our brownies. I come back, she's eating her whole brownie,
No.
and I go, dude, did you just eat the whole brownie? And she goes, you know you can't leave me alone with a brownie. I go,
I mean, to be fair, I feel like that's a very bad delivery system for weed because I'm going to eat a whole brownie.
I do agree with you.
I'm like, this is not, we should
I
be
do
doing
agree
this
with you.
differently. Way less THC in it.
do you
I
want to
think,
know
is
what's worse is so that my dealer at the time, she was always experimenting with different edibles for me. I have arthritis, so but if you don't have to eat your weed to get your pain relief, I smoke it for depression and anxiety, and I eat it for pain. If you don't have to eat your weed for pain relief, you don't know how not fun eating your weed can get when it's your medicine. You know, like brownies are great and all that until you have to eat it 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Like even gummies, the texture starts to get to me after a while. So she was always experimenting with different yummy things, and she knows I love salted chocolate. So she had tried to make these brownies, salted brownies.
That could be pretty good.
They were too salty. Oh. And so that's what made me laugh even harder is my best friend ate the whole brownie even though it tasted like shit.
Yeah.
Then we're in second row of Dave Attell. My dream is to be a stand-up comedian. I am a semi-professional stand-up comedian at the time. I'm booked on a festival with Dave Attell. It is an opportunity for me to meet one of my comedic heroes and be respected by him. I'm sitting in the second row, and my best friend is full-on passed out and snoring.
I feel like I would have moved a couple seats down.
I go, dude, are you okay? And she goes, it's fine. I can't watch comedy right now, but I can listen to it.
Oh, no.
That's when you know you're high. When your logic is like, I don't think I can look at it, but I can hear it.
Yeah. It's like every woman going to sleep. Leave the TV on. I'm watching. Your eyes are asleep. You're asleep.
Did my husband call you before this podcast or
Yeah.
something?
Like, no, I'm listening. Just tell me what's going on the
You get
screen.
so
if
irritated
something
with me.
important is happening, just say what's happening. I'm listening. I'm like,
What
you're
color
asleep.
shoes is she
I
wearing?
hear you snoring.
Yeah.
I'm turning it off. Why'd you turn it off?
Why'd you turn it off?
That's my husband. Every time I'm like, let's watch a movie. He's like, why? So you can fall asleep?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But then he can watch it 3 different times.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
The same 45
And
minutes.
I'm going to
3
ask him
different
about it every time.
Yeah. And he'll know the answer. You win. I'm like, it's fine. If you want to watch a movie to fall asleep, that's fine. And if you don't want to admit it, that's fine too. But
I mean, he's just glad I'm not watching Forensic Files to fall asleep anymore. You know how psychotic women are. It's like, and then she was raped, murdered, and we're like it's
like
really weird.
same old shit.
I have this theory that because women, we grow up with this innate instinct that we're going to be murdered by a man. That was kind of a silly goof, but also kind of true.
Right.
I think that is why we're obsessed with true crime. I think it's like this preparedness thing in us where we're like
he's flashing the signs.
we need to hear the stories and know the things. So it's not that it's relaxing. Recently, everyone's been talking about, the psychologist came out and talked about how true crime is relaxing to people who have trauma, because when they get out of trauma, life is too calm. So then they listen to traumatic things and they feel calm. And I was like, wow, call me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are going places. This is all over the map. Oh, by the way.
Just when you think you're over your trauma, it's still ruining your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the next comes after you.
Yeah.
Welcome to Barley and Me. I'm your host, Ben Rice. It's episode 174. We're here today in Davis, California at Dunloe Brewing with Brennan Fleming. You heard his voice already. You already know who it is. And our
I was supposed to say hi.
yeah, whatever.
Hi.
And our special guest today, comedian Jozalyn Sharp.
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah, we did it.
I'm here.
This is my first intro like this. I feel like it was really good.
Oh,
I
great.
feel like we did great.
I tend to have this. I have this effect because I've been podcasting for so long. Somebody puts a podcast mic in front of me, and I
just gonna go.
I just start going. Yeah. So every podcast I'm on, they're like, "This is completely derailed from what we normally do, but this has been great."
Derailed is my normal state of being. It's where we need to be. I was like, how do we get segued out of this particular topic? I'll just do my intro. Boom. Problem solved. We need to get it in there somewhere, you know?
Let's do it in the middle of the trauma talk.
Yeah, get out of that and bring it right back. That's what we did. So that we go right back to it. But
This beer.
this beer, let me tell you, we've been talking about the beer. We haven't been naming the beers, Brennan. We don't even, our listeners have no idea what we're talking about.
So we got a couple sours. The grilled peach one is called One Big Barbecue because I might be kind of a jerk and tell people that they're going to hell, and then the response is it's going to be One Big Barbecue. So that's where that name comes from. So, and grilled peaches, it all kind of
That's
worked
petty.
out.
I love that. That's so petty. I love that.
And then Ben's drinking the Stand, which is it's a stainless sour with a stupid amount of watermelon in it.
They're both so good. In my life, I've had a lot of beer. I'm a big beer person. As I've gotten older, I will only drink like small batch craft brewery beer because if you are not in your 30s, you be grateful for your digestive system because it's about to go downhill real quick.
All the way down.
So downhill, so fast. And just the tiniest amount of impure ingredient will make you bloat for 75 days. You know.
I'm gonna burst your bubble. Most craft brewers drink shitty light lagers.
That's what I heard. Is they all love like hams.
There may or may not be some Coors in there.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that is the one actually shitty beer that I like. I do love a Coors Light always.
Oh, a Coors Light is an automatic vomit for me just from my younger days where it would be the beer I would drink as I was getting really tossed.
That's Keystone Light for me.
Yeah, Keystone Light.
I'm from the country,
But,
so
but somehow, Coors Banquet, not a problem. Coors Light just
Banquets, I think.
I
my
can't
favorite
do
beer.
a full beer. I can only do lights.
yeah.
I can't do. I think it's like leftover from my Weight Watchers days.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'm not going to say anything, but Dunloe's got a light. They do everything.
This one's actually mostly water.
I mean,
That's true.
as someone who is lazy and mentally ill and also creative, I understand drinking domestic, like mass-produced beer when you know the work that goes into making one of your beers.
It's just sorry, the cat's trying to
Barb is
die over
my
there.
favorite.
I don't know what she's doing. She might jump in the trash can.
Barb has the best attitude. She's like, pet me, and then she's like, how dare you?
Yeah.
She's so dramatic.
But for me, if I drink a craft beer after work, then I have to think about it. And like, oh, how do they do that? Like, oh, what's wrong with
It's
it?
more work for you.
It's work. But
Keep work at work.
shitty beer always tastes like shitty beer.
Yeah, you're like, well, this tastes like an asshole made of aluminum.
This is just beer. This is like,
Yeah.
See, but
have
that's
to
my
think
problem
about
is
it.
my body cannot process that the same way.
Yeah.
I can drink this and I'll sleep fine. My digestive system will be fine for the next day. If I drink a Coors Light, one Coors Light, I am bloated. I'm retaining water for a week. I am nauseous. I have a migraine. Like, and it's not like me being a hippie where I'm like, it's not organic. It's legitimately like mass-produced shit like that. The ingredients they buy are at a such lower level in order for it to be profitable that you're literally, it's like the fast food of beer.
Yeah.
Coors Light, you know?
You know what my favorite thing about Coors Light is I see it on tap at like a tap room, right? Like, we have flavor profiles for all our beers. It'll tell you what it is. And you get to Coors Light, it's like indistinguishable fruit. I'm just like, I love it.
That's what they used to call me in high school.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot to get to my first question of the evening. How's business here at Dunloe, Brennan?
It's been good. We've been growing like crazy. We opened second tap room a year ago today.
Wow.
And I thought that would make us grow, but I did not think it would be kicking my ass like this. So
You're about to need to hire some people.
I'm like a real employer now. It's weird.
Yeah, because you were kind of a one-man show.
Yeah, we had
Not really. I mean,
we
it was
had
like 2-3 people.
A bartender once, but yeah, everything in the back was. It's still pretty much. I got a guy Tony that helps me out. He's the best. He does deliveries and helps me can, and I throw him on the brew house every so often just to make him nervous. But
So you basically do all the brewing for all the beers.
Yeah, that's why I got into this.
You
to
love
make
doing
beer. And everything else is just what
You're very talented. I've had a lot of brew,
I don't know
and
about
I'm
that.
not just saying that because you're sitting in front of me, because I'm a cunt. I would tell you if it was not good. So I'm being genuine. I drink a lot of brewery beer, and this is so clean. It's so good, genuinely. Like, you should be really proud.
Yeah.
That's the fun stuff.
I think it's your 6th anniversary today, right?
It is. Yeah.
Happy 6th anniversary.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I still think it's crazy that you're just like kind of toiling in obscurity considering like how good everything you put out is.
So I don't like selling things.
Yeah, that sounds like you.
We've kind of let the beer talk for us.
Yeah.
And it's working.
Yeah,
So
you've got a passionate
Well,
fan
and now
base.
that you know what success feels like, you know
I
that
don't know
it's
if I
just
know
going to
what
be.
success feels like.
You're just going to know how much harder you're going to have to work when it gets
Like-
more successful.
Yeah, it's like, don't like it. I like my passionate, loyal fan base that tells their friends and nobody else knows about it.
Yeah. We made it through COVID, so I'll chalk that up to a win.
That's an absolute
That's a
win.
very big win.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier now.
I bet. When
don't
you
have
had
to
to
yell at
have
people.
3 tables in here. And
Yeah, I don't have to yell at people. Put your mask on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
But
I
I was sitting down and I didn't have to wear it, but now I'm standing up and I have to wear it. Shit.
I'm like one of those people that I will always kind of do what I have to do to pay my bills, like whether I have to work at McDonald's or whatever. So when the pandemic hit and all the comedy gigs got canceled, at the time I was doing only comedy. I had no other day job. So I just went and started working all these day jobs. Finally, I got a good day job at a dispensary, and I was the manager there. But that was all I did, because it was over the pandemic. All I did was put your fucking mask on. And people would get so mad not understanding, okay, licensing boards specifically come out and look for these things so they can make money off of us.
Yeah.
So if you want to continue to buy your fucking beer or your fucking weed during the pandemic, put your fucking mask on,
Yeah.
Gary. This isn't the place to make your political stance.
It's not my rule.
No,
Yeah.
it was insane. It was so hard.
I mean, I didn't want to die.
Right. So I
Same.
supported it, but also I get why you
Same.
don't. And it's like, but rules are rules.
As someone who's always running late and wears a full face of makeup, being able to only do my eyes was a blessing.
Oh, what a dream.
You know?
Yeah.
Just
Post-mask lipstick is fucking impressive. Like, our dishwasher used to do a pretty good job. No more. Like, it can't do it. It's ready to be rubbed on a mask forever.
yeah.
I don't know what they did, but it is truly
the
impressive.
technology that has changed since, because when I'm a big lipstick person, and I got into nudes again with lipstick because of the pandemic and wearing a mask, and I was always having because I'm kind of goth, so I would wear black or purple lipstick, and I'd take my mask off, and it was just feel like I was eating Grimace's asshole, you know. And so but then they started coming out with all these mask-proof lipsticks, and they're truly mask-proof,
They're
insane.
dishwasher proof too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't be touched.
Well, some of them you can't take them off without a special remover.
That's insane.
I'm so glad I'm a dude.
I think that all the time. I'm like,
Listen, you could still be a dude and wear lipstick, so
Yeah,
you should be more glad that you don't like lipstick.
I guess that's the right. Fair enough.
yeah, it's true. This is 2023. You can do whatever you want.
You can do literally whatever you want, but
Anything
I do
you
not
want.
recommend wearing that lipstick that you have to use a special remover to take off, because even the special remover
Barely
doesn't take
works.
it all off. And then you have just weirdly tinged orange
paint
lip.
thinner on a rag.
Yeah. It's really bad. Certain colors of eyeshadow too are notorious if you're a makeup person, which I'm sure you have a huge makeup demographic that
Absolutely.
listens to this. If you're a makeup person, pinks and any pink eyeshadow often will stain your eyelids. So you look like you had scarlet fever, after you.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, right?
Every day.
Just pink?
For me, it's genuinely pink. And from everyone I know, pink is usually the pigment that stains the most.
All right.
Pinks and reds will stain
That
your
makes
skin.
sense.
Toothpaste will take it off, though.
Ah,
But you have to sit with the toothpaste on your eye. And
Doesn't that burn?
yeah, but so does beauty.
yeah, beauty is pain. We all know it. If you're not in pain, you're not beautiful. That's what we've been taught for generations. Bind your body.
Well, and here's the thing is I do
Spread
drag
out.
too. So when you're in drag as
What's
a
your drag
woman,
name?
Yeah.
Bryce Violet.
Okay.
So if you are a drag king, you're pressing your boobs down and you have glue all over your face to put, because I glue
Yeah.
real hair down a lot.
Yeah.
It's painful. It's all painful.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're modifying your body to look a certain. If I was dressing and looking for comfort, I would look so disgusting. Because when I'm home with my person, with my husband, when I'm truly alone and my most comfortable, he calls me his little crumb gremlin. Like,
It's only a few letters away from something terrible.
cum goblin.
Yeah.
He calls me that too.
Oh, yeah. Depending on the circumstance.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm crumb gremlin. Sometimes I'm cum goblin.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Welcome to Barley and Me.
What's your favorite
Crumb gremlin.
outfit for drag? Like, what's your favorite character?
Well,
that you do?
Truthfully, I do Bryce because my whole life people have commented on how I'm a masculine woman. I have always never felt fully. I'm incredibly femme. Like I love glamour. I love dressing up. I love makeup. I love fashion. But I also have like this innate tomboyness in me, if that's what you want to call. And it was always used to like villainize me. It was used to bully me. It was used to make me feel less than, used to make me feel like I needed to be smaller. And there's something about fully embracing the masculinity in me that's like, so it's not even about the outfit for me generally, because it's like, I'll wear whatever as long as I'm being Bryce. Like it feels good to fully lean into that part of me, that energy that exists inside of me that I've always kind of, before I was around people who accepted me as I am, I always tried to push down and be more femme and be more womanly, quote unquote, when in reality, it's just who I am, you know? And so my favorite outfit is just being Bryce. It's fun. It's nice. His whole thing is like, he's not a good guy. Like, so he's so fun to be because he's the internal embodiment of all this internalized misogyny that I've had to walk around with my whole life. And then I can just exercise it. Those horrible thoughts that I'm like, why do I think like that about myself? Why do I think like that about women? I'm like, oh, Bryce, you know, like it just, that's what I love about it. So truthfully, the outfit is secondary. Okay. Bryce does stand up. So it's not a look thing for him. You know, I'm taping my boots down and putting on a button up and, you know, like.
We've done more than a few drag shows here. And I think the coolest part is seeing that like just people kind of open up as like, they're like themselves.
That's what they say. And, you know, I'm a big Drag Race fan, and RuPaul always talks about that, about how you're going to be surprised when you get in drag who comes out. And that's what I was so surprised when I went into Bryce for the first time.
But like the backstage part where like they just got off we do a shitty like little can palette stage.
Yeah.
And they like just get off the stage and like the glow.
Oh,
is,
yeah.
it's
Unreal.
Really cool to see.
It's the same way for stand up with me, you know.
Yeah.
After a good set, there's literally nothing. The night after my special recording, I had one shot. It went almost perfectly. I could not have asked for better for someone who hadn't, you know, is a nobody. When people showed up, the recording went well. I got all the jokes out. And everybody, you know, my best friend is crying. Like, it's just like the best night. And that feeling, that power is accessible to all of us all the time. But for some of us, it's like drag or comedy that I think, and I don't even do drag that often. Most of the drag I do is behind closed doors because there's not really a lot of space for drag kings in Vegas for what I do. The stand-up, I don't know a lot of comedy drag shows happening. When I've done Bryce, it's usually been, there's a clown open mic, and the Cirque du Soleil clowns do like new acts and stuff there, and they usually have Bryce out to do a set, or I'll host a burlesque show as Bryce, something like that. But it's just, I don't know. It's so fucking powerful to finally realize that you don't have to be what other people say you have to be. It's very powerful. And it's simple, but it's like so incredible how just like dressing up in the exact opposite way that you feel like you have to look can make you feel invincible, I think.
I mean, I've seen it on people's faces, so I believe that.
It's really powerful. And it's why like I'm so passionate about like speaking up. Like, I am a little bit of a, I was telling somebody last night, I'm like, do you know what a racist dog is? And they're like, what? If you don't know what a racist dog is, you're basically like one of those people that like you can't let anything slide. Like, somebody says something, I'm the person who pops off. Like, I can't help it. And it's not that I'm like trying to be better than anyone. Like, a lot of people that I get into altercation with in my life think it's because I think I'm better than them, or that I'm trying to, I don't know, assert that I know more, when in reality, it's just me saying what I think is right. And truthfully, I'm not like being self-righteous. Like, I just went to therapy, and I learned in therapy a lot of my anxiety was from me not speaking up when I wanted to. Mm-hmm. You swallow that shit, you don't say what you really want to say, and it goes inside of you and becomes poison. So, it's hard being a human. Let people wear what they want to do. Let people do drag. Let people fucking identify how they want to identify, because being a human is hard enough as it fucking is.
Yeah. It's not that hard to not be an asshole.
It is really not that hard.
That's the basic rule. Don't be an asshole.
All you had to do right there was not open your mouth, and this situation would have been different. Yeah. Like, fuck, man, just shut the fuck up.
Well, and to me, it's weird. It is weird to care that much about how other people are living their life.
Yeah.
And people want to get into a debate, and they're like, well, you want me to accept them. Why not accept me? And I go, the difference is I want you to accept them because they're saying, this is how I want to live my life, and I feel truly myself. And you're saying, I don't like that. That's the difference.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with you. Your opinion has nothing to do with you. It has to do with this person.
See, I am a racist dog. You give me a microphone, and I'm like, and another thing.
Yeah. Well, you've come to the right podcast.
I can't help it. I'm the woke police. I literally posted this meme the other day. I was like, when you're ACAB and realize you're the woke police, and it was like that girl doing that.
Oh, no. It's like, well, but I also admit that I'm probably bad. That's the problem with knowledge, is you realize you're not perfect. No one is. No. And we're all, if we're in a takedown culture, you'll be taken down for something. But it's like...
Well, and here's the thing, is we're not trying to take anybody down. We just want to go, don't be an asshole, just and have you go, I'm sorry, I was an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, think about that part of my...
It's literally that simple.
Yeah. Just make someone think for 30 seconds and be like, oh, yeah, I was an asshole.
Yeah, an ounce of accountability.
Yeah.
Just a whisper.
Yeah, just, hey, sorry, I didn't realize, my life experience didn't teach me that. Now I've realized maybe I've been leading this particular part of my life incorrectly. That's it.
But we also live in a culture where men will idolize somebody like Andrew Tate and then be like, well, it's women's fault because they won't have sex with us even though we never shower. Like, it's just, we live in a very weird world where there's no logical path of
I was not ready for that.
Yeah, no one was ready for that voice.
I'm sorry, I have a lot of voices inside of my body. They come out often.
Now, is that Bryce?
No. Bryce actually sounds exactly like me.
Perfect. Yeah.
No, that's not Bryce.
No, I think that's a pretty basic rule that I like when I do comedy shows when I'm hosting. I'm like, hey, the rules of comedy, it's like we're in a space, you got to do. It's like, honestly, just don't be an asshole. That's the whole rule. Just don't be an asshole, and just like take that to anywhere you go. Yeah. Like if you're like, hey, you're being an asshole, you're like, oh, I broke the rule. That's it.
Yep. Well, and here's where I flip the script and say, if I'm leading with compassion, which is how I believe we all should live our lives every day, we have to have compassion for the fact that those people are so deep in denial of who they are and what makes them a good person or bad person, that they have latched onto the idea that because they live so deeply in the gender binary, they're a good person, or because they adhere to their traditional gender roles, or maybe because of who they marry. That is so deeply entrenched in their identity that the thought of somebody else living authentically threatens everything that makes them feel good and true.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's okay.
Right. It's just the reality that they're facing.
What a time to be alive.
You have to have some compassion.
Yeah.
We were talking about the fact that it's like they're like babies. Like if you're that dumb that you're like, we're gay people, and I'm like, you're a baby. You're a literal baby.
If you drink Bud Light, you're gonna get cooties.
Yeah. I drank Bud Light. Now I'm gay.
Yeah. Living proof.
I ate like 30 pussies before that, but then after I drank the Bud Light, I was like, maybe I'll do it again.
Wait, I realized the error of my ways. Now I'm not so sure.
That whole thing,
it just
blew my mind.
It's the funniest thing to me because that they want to tell us as liberals that we are the most sensitive people on the planet. Yet any company can't show support for any of us or anybody.
But that's the funny thing is every single other beer company has done that before.
Yeah. Ford has done it. And the fact that like It blows
Yeah.
my mind. We were literally talking about this
in
on the car ride
yeah.
here.
This is
Like,
all just dribbling into the
yeah,
episode. Yeah.
it's what happens when three like-minded people get in a room and we're
Yeah.
like, can you believe we have to be alive right now?
Yeah.
This is fucked up.
So, yeah.
That's just how I feel, regardless of who I'm talking to.
We like to do we like to tour dive bars, so we'll go to the Delta or go somewhere, and it's always nice to kind of read the room and then order a Bud Light. And you're like,
It's like, what are you doing? Like, well, where do you make your coffee? From that Keurig?
If you really want to make a
Guys-
statement, you should order a Cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
I don't know if these places would know how to do that.
They said, you said what, boy?
But like,
Cosmo what now?
Yeah.
we've ended up in some wonderful places.
I grew up in a town that was so small and podunk that I was violently queer and bisexual, and I thought that the reason I slept with men and women was that I was just chill. Like, that's how in the closet it is, because there's no... Towns like that, they have no conceptualization.
Where are you from?
Fallon, Nevada.
Okay, I've
Yeah.
been there.
Yeah, you have. Yeah. It's very backwards, you know, and you don't think about it. Like, I was in the Gay Straight Alliance. We had rocks thrown at us just for being in the Gay Straight Alliance. And that was like 15 years ago. So when
Yeah.
people want to act like we're being dramatic for being like, hey, this is still a problem, I don't.
Like, no, it's not. It's like, it
It's-
absolutely is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
The,
wild
fa-
to think it
the
isn't.
fact that we're having to have conversations about this, the fact that we're banning drag shows and you're still taking your kids to priests is insane to me. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
Because when did that blow? The priest stuff.
The
blow?
beginning
That
of
was
time?
But like
We're in like the late 90s, early
90s,
2000s.
Like, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
And then just swept under the.
Yeah, and they're like, we're bringing it back out.
holy
Like,
rug.
oh, this again? Sweep it. Bring it back up. Ah, shit, sweep it. Like, just, it's like, yeah, you just like,
that makes sense. Like, if you tell someone they can't have sex,
yeah,
they have to
do
trust
it in
God
private.
and then give them a bunch of. That's.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're
set
setting up
you fucked yourself on that one.
You're setting up a scenario that's not going to be great. It's like,
Well, that's because religion was created by monarchies to control the masses, but nobody wants to have that conversation.
yeah. Yeah. And it's
Nobody
like,
wants to have that conversation with a queer Wiccan.
Yeah. And then you're like, what's going on with race relations right now? And you're like, oh, the same thing was happening in 1957. The same thing was happening in 1896. It's like, just like, oh, it's always been the same goddamn story.
Yep.
And they're the same excuses,
Yep.
the same way to like manipulate stuff. It's just like the same stuff over and over. It's like, what
I
if
know
we
somebody
just
who
like,
recently said to me, do you think Rosa Parks sat in the front of that bus to make a point? She just wanted to sit there. I'm like, that was the point.
that was the point.
What are you
And also,
She was
yes,
tired.
also actively did so. She was she was known
To be an activist.
already. Yeah, it's in her history,
But
right there.
But this is where we live in a day and age where
You
people,
could. Oh, we
where-
talked about this too.
Well, yeah, people just would rather believe what they want to believe than simply Google.
Yeah,
Simply Google.
That's
it's like it's the third result.
You have a magic rectangle in your pocket. Like
Yeah.
you can find the real information.
Yeah.
Like all you have, you don't
You
even
can
have to type
debunk
it.
anything that you think, but the thing is like most of our parents have found two sources for information.
Yeah.
And they've just decided those are the only sources for information.
Yeah, yeah. My favorite is going to those websites that are sending the link, and you're like, the thing that's the hot link for the reference is a link to another article they wrote. Do you understand? That's not how journalism works. Like,
Yeah. And also that Hot Pockets isn't buying ads from legitimate journalistic websites.
Yeah.
Like when you go to the blog and it's like a Hot Pocket ad at the top and it's like, are trans people kidnapping our kids? Hot Pocket. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, what?
God.
It's so insane. It's literally the most insane thing on the planet. But I have a unique insight into it. You know, my husband's very straight. Like he recently, I was like, well, you know, like you're in a queer relationship now. And he was like, I'm in a queer relationship now. Like,
How's that make you feel?
yeah, it's all about understanding and accepting, because as someone who grew up in a small town, I have seen what not having access to different groups of people and how that creates biases.
Yes.
Because I was talking with somebody else I know that experiences a lot of racism in his journey in comedy, and we were talking about the fact that even though he will have conversations with these people who say horrendously racist things, he's not saying they're good people. They're good-hearted people. They're regurgitating things that they heard growing up. And if we can't, although I am a racist dog and I'm ready to bark, we cannot jump down someone's throat. The simplest way to take a racist down, anyone, misogynist, racist, transphobe, homophobe, you just ask the question, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that is the most powerful thing you can say to anyone, because if they're truly a racist or a homophobe, they're going to spiral out. If they're a good person, they're going to go, oh, well, I don't really know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
That's what Grandpa used to say.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you're like, wait. And like I always go with the Animaniacs with one of the characters, I forget her name.
I love you, lady. Bye-bye.
Yeah, but she's like, why? Why? And if you can't get to
Why?
like 4 whys,
Yeah.
you don't have a belief.
Yeah.
Like, or it's not based in
Yeah.
fact. You have a belief, but it's not based in anything.
If you're saying, I just feel this way,
It's like, but why do you feel that way? Because you can't just feel it. The feeling is brought on by some sort of experience or lesson you've learned. So why?
well, people don't like to question how they feel. You know, it's like how men end up with like shit fetishes. It's because like they see poop one time and their dick gets hard, and then they push it down, and then they just keep pushing it down until they're wearing diapers and like eating their own feces. You know, like that's
We are going.
tale
places.
as old as time.
Yeah. Boy, we've all been there. Right? We've all been there.
Not just me. No.
No.
See, and this is why if you were listening to this and you're like, damn, this liberal is such a judgy bitch, you shouldn't feel that bad, because I'm a weird crumb gremlin.
Yeah.
I'm a
Crumb.
cum goblin.
We're out of control. All right. So that's, you know what? We did it. New format of Barley.
What did we do?
We changed the format of Barley. We just started. We just started without an intro. We did that. We hit the time that I said we were going to do. We talked about beer. We talked about all kinds of stuff. We got to be human beings for a second. Yeah. I think we pretty much fucking crushed this episode.
Murdered.
Yeah.
Like 1 in 5 women by a man.
God damn it.
We got to talk about your 6th anniversary.
Yeah.
You've got all kinds of releases
Your
going on.
amazing beer that
Amazing beer.
I'm never gonna be able to drink in Las Vegas, and I'm just gonna think about.
Yeah.
Just gonna wistfully dream about it.
Well, you just gotta come back.
Yeah.
We'll be
Oh, I
here.
will.
Secret.
Hopefully.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, and you get just anything. Just grab a thing, and it's going to be fantastic. You're like, Jesus, I didn't even know I liked whatever it is. Like, look at all this stuff. It's all, you were like, I just need something that's kind of like citrusy. Like, it's all citrusy. Like, it's all designed.
It's so delicious, though.
Yeah.
This, literally, the flavor, the grilled peaches flavor, like,
Yeah.
this is like a lake beer. I want to be on a lake right now.
Let's throw her one more thing before we get out of here. What do you
Let's
want?
throw it in a lake.
Let's throw her in a lake. Throw her in a lake with some grilled peaches. We'll see what happens. Like, what's
What do you
better?
think I should try?
On the sour side, the other one I like is Middle of Somewhere, which is apricots, and it's got a little bit of a dry hop in it. We first did it with Flatland down in
dope.
Elk Grove. And
Another
then
great spot.
We've just kind of kept it going because I like how it came out. But yeah, lots of apricot and then like a little bit of a hop kind of in there too.
I trust you. You have not led me wrong thus far.
And also, Flatland is an incredible brewery as well.
Yeah.
They're more renowned than
They
Dunloe,
make great beer.
but they are incredible. They're also like mad scientists too. So
But that makes sense now that you said that. This area probably does have a lot of great breweries because you have access to good ingredients.
yeah,
It's
Good
why
ingredients,
there's
good
great
water.
breweries in Denver.
Yeah.
We're spoiled.
Yeah.
Like, spoiled rotten.
Same thing with Portland. It's why the beer is good. Like, we have breweries in Vegas. Don't get me wrong. They're good. They're not like, you're not drinking something like this where I'm like, it
Holy
tastes
shit.
like a peach.
You said it was peach.
And it's a beer and it's peach. You know?
You said it, but it's not like that sticky, gross nectar stuff.
Exactly.
It's really
that
peach.
sugary, syrupy flavor.
Yeah, it's real peach, like you would eat, and you'd be like, I have to drink this over the sink.
So there's a brewery outside of Denver, somewhere. It starts with a G maybe, but it's
In Greeley?
yeah, Casey's Brewing and Blending.
I haven't been there yet.
They do a lot of like proper sours, and one of theirs is called a leaner. It's because when you're in a peach orchard and you take a bite out of the peach and you have to lean over because like it's gonna run down your chin.
I
and
love knowing stuff like that.
It's pretty spot on. That beer's delicious.
I love that stuff. Okay, I'm gonna try it when I go to. I'm performing at a brewery in Loveland, not next weekend. Next weekend. And so I'm excited to try some beers there. It's kind of the same kind of vibe out there in the northern Colorado area where like the one brewery I've been to where they have the comedy shows is like in the middle of the farm where they everything around you was just like fields. Like
That's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
it was amazing. Like you're just eating next to the place where the food and the beer came from.
Yeah. Oh, that's my favorite.
Farm to
Like
table.
a farmhouse.
That's my
brewery.
dream. I'm like very much like a witch hippie. Like I want to have a commune.
And you're living in Las Vegas.
I live in Las Vegas. It's horrible. But capitalism.
you gotta make the money to spend the money or whatever it is.
I can want to barter with leaves and twigs and spells all I want, but the world's still going to make me pay cold hard cash for my Sephora bill. So
Yeah. And it's also usually warm, sweaty.
yeah, that's true.
Cash.
It was in my bra because
Yeah.
we're in Las Vegas and
Yeah.
it's 120 degrees.
It's never
so-
cold or hard. It's pretty soft and
Well,
moist.
some things are cold and hard, but we don't have to talk about
We don't
that
have
on
to
this
talk about
episode.
that. No. All right.
find some beer.
Yeah, we grab that. So, like you said, you're going to be in Loveland soon. Where can people find out more about
You can
Jozalyn
go
Sharp?
to wizardofjaws.com or jozalynsharp.com. Wizard of Jaws is my gamer tag on pretty much any
But how do you spell Jaws? Is it J-O-Z?
J-O-Z, yep. Wizard of Jaws, like Wizard of Oz, but with the J. My name's spelled J-O-Z-A-L-Y-N, so I was always Jaws growing up, always have been. If you were one of my high school bullies, guys, you called me Jaws on my balls, so shout out to Alex.
Creative. Very creative. We all want Jaws on our balls.
I
That's
know.
what we're looking for.
And when you started calling me that, I was like, that's not going to feel good, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have to take a picture of this because I love this can.
So that's a picture in the Sawtooths outside of Stanley, Idaho, which is truly the middle of nowhere. But it's beautiful, and there's lots of little fish and wonderful hiking.
I grew up in truly the middle of nowhere. I grew up next to a dairy, which was kind of traumatic because I saw veal every day. You're just like a kid trying to be whimsical, and you're like, why are those babies trapped, Mama?
Yeah.
It's very sad.
I keep hearing the babies cry. Then they scream. And then there's silence. It's not great. It's not a great world to live in.
Ooh, I like this.
Shock.
Shock and surprise.
Yeah.
And awe.
Yeah.
It's very like the citrus is very strong in this one, and I love that.
And then you get the apricot on the end.
Yes. Ooh, I like this a lot. Actually, this tastes like is it lime?
It's Citra hop, which and then apricot.
It's that's what's
So
giving the strong
hop
like.
is giving you that
lime
citrus
kick.
flavor. Yeah.
Wow, it's so good. I forgot that they had these warnings on there, and I only read it for
Yeah.
a second, and I was like, the Surgeon General thinks women should not drink?
Just one more ride taken away.
God, another Andrew Tate fan.
All right, Jozalyn, you have also released your debut album. You mentioned
I did,
recording
yeah.
it.
My debut album came out this year. It released #1 on iTunes. No big deal. And you can watch it on Amazon Prime. That's the fun place to watch it because you get to see all the people that I'm doing crowd work with. They did a pretty good job, the crew that was filming me, of capturing it. But I have attention disorders and I'm psychotic, so trying to capture all the interactions I'm having is difficult. I'll give them that. But my producers, Laugh After Dark, they're one of the best people on the planet. They're great, amazing parents and producers, and they're also incredible, like talented people in the industry that have completely separate jobs outside of comedy, and they did such a good job with my special. I'm very grateful that I got to do it with them. And now you can rent it on Amazon. You can rent or buy it, and listen to it on Spotify, iTunes, any of those things. And I still have vinyls for sale, so if you want to buy one, DM me on Instagram.
Yep, Wizard Jaws.
Yeah, that's me. I'm at Jozalyn Sharp on everything except for TikTok. I'm at Wizard of Jaws because I was like, TikTok is stupid. This is never going to be anything.
And then you're like, shit.
I was like, fuck, I forgot to get my name.
I'm still dragging my feet, and I haven't done it.
You know what? I ended up on the side. There's so many sides of TikTok now that you realize that it doesn't all have to be this one. I'm on the side of TikTok where it's a lot of animal videos, but I also found all these dads who are like obsessed with duetting which is where they react to videos of life hacks that they're like, I never knew to do this.
So I'm old, and I get this a week later on Instagram.
Oh, you're on Reels. Yeah, I know. My best friend is a man, and he's in his 40s. He's going to be 41 this year, and he constantly sends me things on Reels, and he'll be like, let me guess, you saw this on TikTok a week ago.
Yeah. And I think TikTok's getting wise because, like, my girlfriend will send me links, and I was like, click them and watch them in the browser. But I think they're like, you've seen too many TikToks in the browser. You literally have to get the app. I'm like, absolutely not. I won't do it. I'm an old man. I can't be getting these applications. I fill out so many applications.
Do you know what's so true about this is my grandma loves to follow me on everything, so I made her a TikTok. There's a lot of, we're indigenous, and our particular tribe, we don't get a lot of information about our tribe in America because it's Canadian. So we're Cree, and Cree is a mostly Canadian. It's why I don't have like super dark skin, is because we're snow indigenous people, so we have paler skin. And my grandma loves following and learning about the Cree nation, and she wants to learn more of the language. She's lost most of it. Her mom and her grandmother spoke it. And so I got her TikTok because I follow a lot of Cree people on TikTok, and she follows them and me, basically. Every time I go over to her house, she's like, you have to fix my TikTok. I'm like, why, Grandma? And she's like, there's all these people that aren't you. I'm like, that's because you're on the For You page. Those are suggestions. You need to go to the following page. And she goes, but I only want to see you. And I'm like, Grandma, I can just send you videos of my TikToks.
Yeah. Just don't go on there till you get the link. Then you're fine. I'll tell all my Cree creators to, or creators as we know them.
Creators.
And they'll make sure to message you as well. Give them your number. We'll all just be like, I put new content out, Grandma, and you can just watch that way. Just don't ever go in there alone. It's not for you.
My grandma's so funny because she's not the best articulator. She's an incredibly intelligent woman. She was like director of a teen home and a social worker. But, you know, you age and your brain starts to go. And she's at this age now where it happens to every woman in my family where she's lost all the names of things. Mm-hmm. So she'll literally have conversations with me where she'll be like, what do I do with the thing that's on top of the stuff? And you're like,
great question.
Oh,
I mean, I have those conversations too.
All the time.
Yeah, see, that's age.
You know,
old bitch.
You can't
you know that thing over there behind the other thing?
But my grandma's not even pointing. No. The thing she's talking about isn't even in the room.
Yeah.
Like, so that's how TikTok is for her. Because she, like, no matter how many times I explain it to her, she's like, well, I follow you and I follow Notorious Cree. She knows his ad. Yeah. She goes, I follow you and I follow Notorious Cree. And then all of a sudden there's a guy making cupcakes. And I'm like, I don't want to see this guy making cupcakes. And I'm like, Grandma, I don't know what to tell you.
No one wants to see that
no.
guy make
I love
cupcakes.
watching people cook makes me want to come. I love watching people cook. Don't you?
Well,
like,
you
it's
learn
so
a new
relaxing.
trick. You're like, oh, look at that.
You
the
learn
trick I didn't know.
Yeah. My husband and I love watching Iron Chef. They resurrected it on Netflix. If you don't know, there's a whole new season of Iron Chef on Netflix, and we've been watching it. And we love like food, so we like when the food looks yummy. But the last 2 episodes, they've been cooking like very Michelin star, like classic French style cooking. And my husband, who's very Midwestern, he's from Illinois, he's like, I don't want to eat any of this shit. I'm like, yeah, me neither, bro.
No.
Let me get an Oreo salad.
But it's still, he would love that. My husband literally, the more orange and processed the cheese, the better for my husband.
Yeah.
Getting him to eat vegetables is an actual chore. Like it's I have to like blend them up and like wrap them
it's like my baby.
ham like a dog or something.
My baby's like, nah, not on board.
Your baby's like, nah, Dad, no vegetables for me.
You're going to make me know they're vegetables? Absolutely not.
Is your baby eating solids?
It's like, you better disguise this because I am not on
really?
board for it. Yeah. Oh
I was a vegetable kid. If it was green, I wanted it.
Yeah.
My family had to trick me into eating meat.
Yeah.
Because I was a texture kid and meat just did not have the right texture.
Yeah.
Because it's flesh.
Right. Right. And we're raising her.
I still love it.
It's tough because my girlfriend wants to raise her vegetarian because she's like, if I had not been introduced to meat against my will, I don't think I would have eaten meat. So she's like, I want her to say, I want a hamburger. I want steak.
I wish somebody had allowed me to do that.
Do you guys have a garden?
We do.
I feel like that's why I like vegetables because as a kid, like stumbling around in the garden, just like pulling shit off,
eating it.
Also,
nothing better than
vegetables
fresh.
taste good. It's propaganda that they don't.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I think it's so funny when people are like, vegetables are gross. I'm like, they're literally not. They literally taste good.
Yeah.
Like, do you know why marinara sauce tastes good? It's not because of tomatoes. It's because there's all kinds of other vegetables in there, and basil and garlic and oregano and thyme and like, it's this idea that like, it's why I want to live in a commune. I want to be able to just like go outside and be like, what are we cooking today, mothers, or whatever we call each other.
Maybe not that. Maybe not that. Maybe we escape that whole.
No, it's going to be a cult.
Well, yeah, but we create our own.
How am I going to get people to do free labor if I don't make it a cult?
It's true.
You got
It's
to come
true.
up with a new gender, a new name for it.
Okay. Fuck, this is my problem. I'm so good. I love improvising as a comic. I do a lot of crowd work
But
and
this is
improvising.
different.
But when somebody puts me on the spot and they're
Like,
like,
come up with a
think of a
word.
name, I'm like,
Come up with a word
Flan.
that no one used. I'm like, all right, fuck sticks.
What are we making
What are
today?
we making today?
fuck sticks. That's the third gender. Fuck stick.
Yeah, it's like it's still pretty gendered because we also require them to be very skinny and
Actually, we weigh you every day.
Yeah.
We're basically
we only
Heaven's
use
Gate,
you for a
but
few things. Yeah, and it's all right, fuck sticks. That's what we call them. It's still gendered. You know what? You know, we were doing great.
Yeah, you're a
We've done
woman,
the
so you're a
thing.
fuck sticka.
Yeah,
You got to put the man.
Yeah.
It's gendered.
yeah. Right, A at the end. O's for men. Fuck
Yeah,
stick O.
fuck sticka.
Right.
Don't misgender our cult members.
But don't forget, there's some fuckstick X's out there. Or fucksticks, as they call
our
themselves, which is not.
our non-binary fuck sticks friends.
Yes. Make sure we're factoring them in.
Be respectful.
Be respectful of these fucksticks.
Because they are still fuck
with
sticks.
the CKS or with just an X. Be respectful of fucksticks, regardless of how we end the word.
Me and Ben at our cult.
We're
being the camp counselors.
Jesus Christ. All right.
So where are you guys buying land?
Well,
Do you want to join?
actually
Are you
thinking-
ready to be a fuck sticko? Or are you a fuck sticks?
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet.
Okay, good. I love it. Keep
Yeah.
your door open.
Yeah.
That's a fuck stick.
And I think it's important that we do when it's pluralized, we stick to fuck sticks. We don't make one
Yeah.
gender more
Oh,
important than
actually,
the
it's
other.
fuck stick eye when there's
Oh yeah,
more than
right,
one.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Make sure there's nobody feeling favored. There's no favors here. I remember having everybody wants to have. I think most people are like, we should just. All my friends, we all have different skills. We should all just like buy land and live on it, and we'll maximize our talents and we'll teach people things. And
But my friends and I are fucking serious. We're
Yeah.
all trying to become independent millionaires so we can all disappear.
yeah,
That would be really nice.
right.
Yeah, and then every morning you wake up and you're like, well, Rebecca, the turnip's ready for harvesting. No, I guess we should read another book. And that's your life.
Yeah, every day.
That would be brilliant. I would love it.
I would love it.
Yeah, I was super on board. I'm like,
I tell my husband about this all the time. I'm like, when we live on our commune, and every time he's like, will we have Google Fiber? I'm like, sure.
yeah, we're not going to be like off the
We're
grid
not
like
Amish.
that. Yeah.
Like,
We'll still.
I'm still going to need Fashion Nova.
I like the way we're gonna. It's like we're gonna live in a transactional society, but it won't be money. We'll be giving them skills for services, right?
We're going to
and
take money
goods.
from outside capitalists by running a giant Airbnb on our commune. We take their money and they get farm to table food cooked by somebody who lives on the commune.
Just buy a bunch of Airstreams.
And then
All the
we all live on
millennials love-
Airstreams
love
or in
the
a yurt.
Airstreams.
I want to live in a yurt, but
Yeah, you build your own individual
in the Colorado
structure,
mountains,
and then there's
on
a
a
shared
river.
structure. There's a big shared structure for everybody, but everybody
we
has
all
their
grow our
own
pubes
structure.
out. We wash them
right.
in the river.
Right.
People come to visit. They're like, have you been to the Pube River washing
Yeah.
farm? It's pretty great, relaxing.
Yeah.
Well, they actually do corporate retreats now. It's cheap.
It's a length contest.
Like contest. We have a Pube Fest for
Yeah.
the full moon.
It's not weird. Don't make it weird.
It's where we make our matches for marriage. Welcome to Pube Fest. Have your pubes touch. If they repel, you are not meant to be. If
Yeah.
they entangle, you have
Yeah.
found your one.
If they've blended in a nice salt and pepper breeze,
Just people rubbing their pubes together
Yeah.
trying to find their
Like,
match.
feels
But
wrong.
Is that
Feels wrong.
really any
Different.
sillier than online dating?
no.
No,
No. If I told you you could rub your pubes on someone and find out if they were your perfect match, would you do it?
It had to be in a river. It had to be in a river.
Only if I'm in a river.
yeah, because
And
you can't
somebody
account for
would have to-
hydration.
Yeah, because if you're like in an IKEA, it would feel kind of weird.
Someone would have to be playing like a lute or something like that.
yeah.
glasses.
But what I meant to say earlier is remember I said, hey, we're doing great on time. I've done the thing that
Have
I
we
always
blown the
do.
time?
We've blown the time.
Remember when I said when I go on people's podcasts, I absolutely destroy all their plans?
And remember when I said, it's my plan, it never works out?
Yeah.
Right.
So we were both honest from the jump.
We know who we are.
We're better than everyone.
Nailed it.
We know who we are.
Yep.
And we try to change.
And I'm a fuck sticker.
Yeah.
And I'm here to stay.
Yeah. Join my commune. It'll be here any day. 80s rap.
Yeah, you can only listen to rap from 1985 to 1996 in our commune, but you'll get through it.
All right.
Get
OD came out in 95. We're going to be fine.
And then 2002 to 2006 Ludacris. But outside of that,
okay. Well, can I bring in
getting
T.I.?
very specific.
we can have T.I. from
Okay,
2001,
great,
2006,
great.
and also Outkast.
Let's just bring
we have to have Outkast
Let's
in there.
just bring in the ATL.
Let's
the
just,
ATL's
let's
allowed.
just bring in all of ATL.
ATL's allowed in.
And the St. Lunatics.
Okay, I
'Cause
might
Murphy
fight
Lee.
you on it, but that's okay.
Okay.
I understand why
All
people
right.
like it. It's just not for me.
This is why you shouldn't have too many chefs in the commune.
It's true. I mean, we have to have the same ideals, and that's how it
I
works.
think you just got booted.
I did, yeah. Just get the fuck stick out of here.
Your fuck stick has been snapped.
Yeah, like a twig.
That's how we have exit. You have to untangle your pubes from the group.
Yeah. It's like, and if we have to do it by force, we will.
I'm picturing like Survivor, like your flame has been extinguished. You must leave. Untangle your pubes and leave.
All right, so we already did your socials. People know how to find you.
Yeah.
You're also on tour, so they probably got a website.
I mean, literally
maybe.
go to my website, jozalynsharp.com or wizardofjoz.com. Come see me do stand-up. I'm very good
at it. And if you're doubtful, there's an album. There's a special. You can get the vinyls.
You can go to my TikTok and watch clips.
Yep.
Because I can't help it. I have a severe attention disorder. So if the audience member is doing something that does something, I have to address it.
Have to do
and
it.
I ask people questions and I find out the weirdest shit about them.
No.
You're in a safe place. I too have the ADD.
Okay, so you know. You know.
That's why I think I'm good at what I do.
That's why I'm good. I can run complex departments at my day job. I can do stand up in front of a bunch of people. Can't figure out how to make a dentist appointment.
No.
You know?
But then you have to talk to people.
Then I have to talk to people.
On the phone?
Yeah. My husband had to hold me for like 20 minutes the other day because my insurance wasn't going through for my inhaler. And I was like, I'm going to have to call the insurance. He was like, I know.
I get it. I'm like, I'm ready. You want to fight me? I go to court a lot. Come on
For
at
a
me.
boisterous
For somebody who
outs-
is not a lawyer, I go to court a lot. Let's go.
I stay in court, bro.
You think you got the guns for this one?
For an
I got the guns for
outspoken,
this one.
obnoxious woman, I am incredibly conflict averse.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy conflict. I don't like confrontation, especially if I have to stand up for myself. I'm like,
Oh,
I
that's
don't even
the
like me
worst.
that much. You know?
Is this for me? It's not for a friend or a family member? I don't like this.
Yeah.
It feels a lot better when I'm helping somebody.
Yeah,
If
when
I'm
I
helping,
can stand
I'm
up
not
for,
somebody.
Standing up for someone else is like
so easy.
so easy. Standing up for myself, I'm like, hey, I deserve better. Maybe
Like
actually, I don't.
I'm just
Like,
going
if
to
you-
walk away.
If you tell my friend no, I will stand here and fight for my friend. If you tell me no, I'll be hurt. It'll hurt so bad. Why would you do this to me?
Yeah. I have good friends though, because my friends and I are all good about telling each other, like, would you accept that treatment for me? That's a great thing to ask your friends if you want them to be better about standing up for themselves. We always check each other with that. We're like,
Yeah.
would you accept that treatment for me? And if you're like, no, then it's like, well, you
Why
better stand
you
up
do
for
it
yourself.
you? Yeah. Yeah. We're learning a lot. This is the whole thing.
We're having a whole, this is welcome.
This is Barley and me.
This is the start of the commune indoctrination podcast.
Great. You can. Never mind. There's other past audience. What do they call it? Guests who also I've pitched commune ideas with. So you're not the first.
Oh, well, thanks
But
for making
also-
me feel like a loser.
Well, if you're gonna join a commune, you better feel like an outcast somewhere. You know.
Well, my commune's going to be the best.
Well, we're bringing you in. That's what I'm saying. We're bringing
great.
it in. We're
That's the whole
bringing
point of
it
the
all in.
commune.
Yeah. This podcast is now just
to
just
source
marketing.
commune members.
Yeah. Like, how do we feel about
Got
this
a
episode?
brewer.
Yeah.
I have some skills, probably.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
When it comes to people like, hey, when the zombie apocalypse is what you can do, I'm like, I'm gonna die. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna die real quick.
I'm going to shoot. I'll very much fight. I do have a fight or flight.
I mean, I feel like I could do, but like I have no skills. Like, oh, can you fashion a thing out of a thing? Like, absolutely not. I'll fight, but I'm not gonna do any specialized stuff. I have none of that skill. I'm like, oh,
I love
I'll
this
convince
idea
them
that
to
the
not
zombie
bite me.
apocalypse happens and we all of a sudden are very organized as a human
Yeah.
race, and we're like, what are your skills,
Yeah.
Ben?
I'll talk to them reasonably, like an adult. Like, look,
And they're
we
like, shoot
all
'em in the
want
head.
brains. We all want brains, but we're all dumb. You're wasting your time. This is an empty calorie. Eat something
Oh, so you're being
substantial.
fat phobic during the apocalypse to the zombies. Love that toxicity survived the apocalypse. I'm here for it. I love it.
All right, that's enough. We're leaving.
Yeah, on brains are empty calories.
Brains are empty calories. Also, where can they find you?
On the internets,
Yeah.
the Facebook and the Instagram at Dunloe Brewing. We have a very shitty website. Or we're in Davis and we make beer and we sell it.
And you have a second
Why is
location.
your website so shitty?
Because who goes to a brewery website?
I do.
Like, if it lists the hours, that's all you need.
That's fair.
Yeah, Instagram is where you get it, right? Because
Yeah.
that's you see the pictures. You're like, oh, that beer looks beautiful.
That's
A
where the
website,
dogs
like-
are. The cute pictures of the dogs.
Do you have a Dogs of
That's-
Dunloe account yet?
I do not. I do have my own account now.
Oh,
which
wow. I was
which
not gonna bring it up,
Which
'cause I
is
figured-
all of the old, like the weird behind the scenes stuff. And if you've ever been to Dunloe Brewing, that you know that everything in here is a little bit crooked because I can't build shit perfectly. So it's everything
Well,
is
that's the
crooked
charm.
on
Yeah.
the Instagram, and there's a lot of dog pictures on that.
Yeah. He's not going to mention the account. But that's growth.
Everything's crooked.
Oh, everything's crooked. Okay,
Yeah.
great. I thought you were just mentioning that everything was crooked.
No, that's why it's named that.
Ah,
There's a reason for everything.
Yeah.
You know?
There's
Yeah.
a method to the madness.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
growth because I never imagined you would have a social media account.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, but I'm trying. You know?
It's just pictures of Barb.
Yeah.
Most of the dogs were like peach puke. The most recent one was like peach puke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If Brennan can grow and change, you can grow and change. This
slowly
has been
but surely.
episode 174 of Barley and Me. I've been your host, Ben Rice. You can find me across social media at Barley and Me Pod. Don't forget to check out my website is actually good, barleyandmepod.com, to find out more about the podcast, all the comedy shows I run, all the shows I'm on, all the other podcasts I do that aren't this one. I'm an idiot. Why do we do this to ourselves?
Brains.
I want to say thank you
Those
to
empty
my guest,
calories.
Jozalyn Sharp.
Thank you for having
so
me.
much.
This is so fun.
Brennan Fleming, Dunloe Brewing. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to have you out again. That was fun.
And thanks so much for listening. Get home safe.